Hey, it's Rick. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'll show you how I printed these single-color shirts with water-based discharge ink. I'm making these shirts for someone else. They provided me with the design, so I didn't make this myself. Here's the flat artwork in Photoshop. The first step is to print a film transparency. This is the Canon IX6820 wide format printer. It prints 13 by 19 inches. This printer is great because you can get empty aftermarket ink tanks for it and fill them with UV blocking black ink. This way you're printing black from all cartridges to give you a very opaque film positive. This isn't regular acetate I'm printing on. This stuff is a special coating on one side so the ink won't bead up and run off. The next step is to register the film and screen to the print location on your palette. I prefer to do this on press, but professional screen printers will have other ways of doing this. I use a safe light on my press. I load the shirt on the palette so I know where the design will land. I place the film on the shirt in the correct position and face up. I place transparent tape on the bottom facing up so it sticks to the screen. I turn all the lights off except for the safe light so as not to expose the coated screen, which is light sensitive. Once the film is taped and positioned to the screen, it can be exposed. I first clean the glass on my homemade exposure unit, then place the screen. I put foam and weights on the bottom to ensure the film is in tight contact with the underside of the emulsion. You can get ragged edges on your stencil if you don't do this. Once the screen has been exposed, it's over to my homemade washout booth. I give it a rinse first to loosen up the emulsion, and then hit it with a pressure washer. This should only be done from the shirt side of the screen. If you wash it out from both sides, there's a good chance of blowing out the design. Once that's done, I check it for pinholes, and then tape up the edges to prevent ink from falling through. I mount the screen in position on the press and set it up for printing. I've made these 3D printed parts to hold my squeegee, a handle for lifting the screen, and an off-contact spacer. The next step is to prepare the discharge ink. I'm using discharge white base here. It's already got white ink in it, but I've also got a version without. I stir the discharge base because it settles a bit when left sitting. The activator powder is measured at 5 to 6% by weight. Next, I start up the conveyor dryer, lint roll the shirts, and heat press them for a few seconds to flatten the wrinkles. Then I load all 6 positions with shirts. Now I can mix the activator with the ink. This stuff is only good for 8 hours once mixed, so you need to make sure you're ready to go before you add it. Then I load the screen and start printing. I've only got 10 of these to do, and I'm already done a test print on a scrap shirt to make sure it's all good to go. I recommend always doing a test print. You may have pinholes in the screen or other issues that you missed, and you don't want to ruin a whole bunch of new shirts. These won't need a flash or second hit, so they're good to go right into the conveyor dryer. This dryer can be run really slow, which is necessary to evaporate the water from water-based ink. Ideally, you want around a 3 to 3.5 minute trip through the dryer for water-based ink. This dryer also has circulating fans inside to help the water evaporate. The heat of the dryer activates the ink and removes the black dye from the shirt, making the white pop much more with only one coat. After that, it's just cleanup. Because of the nature of discharge ink, it can't be reused or saved for later, so it has to be discarded. All the ink goes into a bucket to dry out. The screen, squeegee, and spatula are washed off, and here's the final shirts. These are gag shirts for a guy's weekend getaway. They'll be washed, folded, and bagged. Discharge printed clothing should be washed before giving to your customer, since some people can have an allergic reaction to the chemicals in the ink. And that's it for this one. I hope this info is useful to someone. I know most of the videos I find are for plastisol ink. Remember to hit all the buttons on your way out, and thanks for watching.